Good morning and thanks for joining us on Spectrum News. I'm Hannah Brewer. We'll get back to your top stories in a moment. Thousands of people came out to the rally today, both supporters and protesters. Well, here on the coast, one of the biggest impacts of Hurricane Irma is actually in the ocean. Our meteorologists say that there's a high risk for rip currents today. I was out here on Wrightsville Beach yesterday where lifeguards were advising swimmers not to go in the ocean. Well, it is a very rare sight here on the coast. The streets and sidewalks are covered in a white blanket. We're here in Wrightsville Beach where the wind is definitely picking up and is very strong right now. We spoke with one beachgoer who said she's been tracking the wind speeds and it's reached up to 38 miles per hour. Well, as you can see behind me, we've already got a big group of fans who are here to watch the players practice on the first day of the Wells Fargo Championship. We're on the scene of a 5-vehicle accident on the intersection of Wrightsville and Eastwood. It's the result of a bank robbery that happened in downtown Wilmington. What we know now is that 3 suspects robbed the Bank of America off of 3rd Street. Well, the jury deliberated for about 2 hours this afternoon in the trial of James Bradley. He's accused in the death of his co-worker, Shannon Rippey Van Newkirk, who was last seen in April 2014 and is still missing. That's right, Garrett Grimsley will serve 200 hours of community service and 3 years of probation for his crime. The Cary man already served 11 months in jail waiting for his sentencing. Brewer says while they haven't had an increase in gun sales, they have had more folks calling in to schedule private lessons to learn how to properly use their firearm. Breweries aren't the only ones benefiting from their relationship with local farmers. Waterline Brewing Company donates their spent grain to Changing Ways Farm to help feed their pigs. I'm here in Curie Beach where a juvenile humpback whale washed up on shore this morning. Officials from the University of North Carolina Wilmington say it's about 25 feet long. The jet skis will give tourists and locals a new view of downtown Wilmington while cruising up to 45 miles per hour. The helicopter would be used in a traumatic situation such as a drowning. And from Masonboro Island to New Hanover Regional Medical Center, the trip is only 4 minutes long.
You're watching Spectrum News all morning.
Thanks for joining us on Spectrum News. I'm Hannah Brewer. More on our top stories coming up. First, let's check on your Weather on the Ones forecast. New Hanover County deputies made an arrest in a string of recent break-ins. Tuesday, they spotted 47-year-old John Horn selling tools out of his truck in the River Lights subdivision. Reaction continues to pour in from both political parties after President Donald Trump abruptly declared a ban on transgender troops serving anywhere in the U.S. military. Democratic Senator Kristen Gillibrand of New York called President Trump's action, quote, harmful, misguided, and weakens, not strengthens our military. Arizona Republican Senator John McCain, a Vietnam War hero, said Mr. Trump was simply wrong, but some at the Capitol disagree. California Republican Representative Duncan Hunter calls it, quote, the absolute right decision. Meanwhile, a former combat-tested naval officer says she's angry that the president wants to exclude transgender people like her. I hope you're not too hungry this morning because you're about to see a lot of cheesy goodness. Chefs from 5 different Raleigh restaurants battled it out for a friendly competition to see who had the best grilled cheese yesterday afternoon. People at the farmers market in City Plaza sampled the cheesy creations that had ingredients from brie to blueberries.
I remember saying, just tell me if he's alive or dead.
September 21st, 2013, the day Darlene Williams Gantz lost her 18-year-old son, JD, to gun violence.
He hadn't even lived his life yet, but in a sense, he lived every day like he was dying, you know, because he did things that I haven't even done, and I'm 52.
State agencies and law enforcement are working to prevent these types of violent crimes. As part of an undercover operation, 11 guns and nearly 3,000 bags of heroin were obtained from alleged Wilmington gang members or affiliates.
We're here today as a united group to send a clear message to gang members and other criminals in Wilmington and throughout this region, and frankly across the Eastern District of North Carolina, that their crimes will not be tolerated in this district.
About 60 law enforcement officers were involved in Operation Tourniquet, an effort to dismantle a drug trafficking organization in the port city.
We work together, we partner together, we put our resources together, and I have to tell you, we're making a difference. It's a long road, but we're making some progress.
Sheena Green, whose father was shot and killed 2 months ago, says members of the community should also do their part.
I think there's a lot of older people out there that really can reach out to the younger ones and kind of lead them in the right direction, give them something positive to do, and give them someone positive to look up to.
Stepping in before it's too late, because as William Scants knows, the pain of a lost loved one is with you forever.
I see him through butterflies. Usually every morning I go outside, it's a butterfly flying around, and I just say, "Good morning, Jay."
In Wilmington, Hannah Brewer, Spectrum News. Rising first grader Megan Semino is eager to test out her green thumb in Lincoln Elementary School's new garden.
We could plant avocados that might take more than a year or two.
Fourth grade math teacher Shane Terzakin says the school-wide STEM project will take learning outside the classroom.
It's always been a belief of mine, and a lot of studies show that if you can get kids to work hands-on and feel it, touch it, smell it, really get into it, they are going to learn much more.
Students will be growing a variety of fall and spring plants while implementing science and math skills.
Whether it be measuring to find out the area and perimeter, planting rows to do multiplication and division.
Putting their knowledge to the test.
When it's really close to being to growing actual foods on it, it turns into a little flower, but then the flower dies and then it becomes a plant.
The garden will provide a hands-on learning experience and teach students about responsibility.
Having that ownership of something and really loving it, wanting to come to school. Oh, when am I going to get to go work in the garden? That's a huge thing. They're really going to start loving school, and hopefully that progresses.
You can see how plants change as they grow. And also you get dirty.
As for Semino, she's already getting her hands dirty and looks forward to more gardening this fall.
I'm really excited.
For Connect a Million Minds, I'm Hannah Brewer. Joining together to show support for Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump, Donna Jordan says it's time for women to get more involved in the campaign.
It's a vote that I feel that Donald Trump needs, could definitely use. I'd hate to be biting my nails on election night, wondering if he's going to make it, because I want to see him win.
Laura Trump, the daughter-in-law of Donald Trump, visited the port city Thursday.
I told him when he said, "I'm doing this," I said, "Sign me up for North Carolina, because those are my people and I know them and they will vote for you."
She's launching an initiative called Women for Trump in an effort to erase negative stereotypes about her father-in-law.
I felt like there was a narrative out there about him that I didn't agree with. And I just want people to really know the man that I know.
She describes him as someone with a big heart.
He truly is a kind, philanthropic, charismatic guy, and I think that you won't get that if you watch a lot of television these days. He's really a person that loves his family. He truly loves his country.
A number of women came out to the event to show their support for the Republican presidential candidate.
I just felt it was time to get politicians out of Washington, D.C. and put someone in there that have ran business. Because I feel that the government, our government, should be run like a business.
Putting a New York businessman in the White House, Jordan says she's ready to make it happen.
I'm just excited. This is a topsy-turvy election time, nothing that I've ever seen in my life. And November will be here soon enough, but it just seems so far away.
In Wilmington, Hannah Brewer, Time Warner Cable News. The hot weather isn't stopping 10-year-old Tyron Bell from cutting the grass. He started mowing lawns to earn money for school supplies. And now that he's got enough for himself, he's doing it for other kids in the community.
Well, I wanted to help out their moms in there and help out them so they could have school supplies too.
Bell's mom says she's grateful to be able to give back after receiving so much support.
It's been a blessing because now he's been blessed and he's able to bless other people with the blessings that he has received. So I'm very thankful.
When Wilmington resident Teresa Babb heard what he was doing, she decided to start collecting supplies at her office.
It's 100 degrees here. We have all this humidity. He's mowing grass, trying to get his own supplies. So I said, okay, maybe I can help him out, put the word out there, and then it got bigger.
And Babb says the response from folks here in Wilmington and all across the country has been overwhelming.
We've gotten things from Kentucky, Ohio, New York, Arkansas, Texas.
My son's 13 and we're having to buy his school supplies, so they are expensive. So any way I can help, just donate money or whatever I can, I'll do it.
A community effort that started with one 10-year-old boy.
Thank you for everybody who's supporting me and making a blessing come true.
In Wilmington, Hannah Brewer, Time Warner Cable News. Volunteer Rickman Davis grew up helping out at his local food bank and says it's something he's passionate about.
It's easy to pull out your checkbook and write a check, but to really connect with what these people are going through on a daily basis this summer, to be able to get out here and help in person is really a unique opportunity.
As part of the food bank's Stop Summer Hunger campaign, Davis and other volunteers are packing bags of food for kids in the community who are food insecure. The campaign aims to feed children who don't have access to food during the summer.
I think what would surprise many of us is that our neighbors are hungry. The kids that sit next to our children at school are hungry. In every school in New Hanover County, there are children who are food insecure.
Organizers say some of the best items to donate are staple foods such as fresh produce, cereal, and pasta.
Soups, canned vegetables, canned fruits, any high protein item that comes in a can is fantastic.
This year's goal is to raise enough food and funds to provide more than 3 million meals to children and families. Davis says stopping summer hunger is a cause everyone should be fighting for.
I mean, like I said, this is a real tragedy, and I think everybody in the community needs to come together and help to fight it. You may not have a whole lot of money that you can donate, but everybody has time, everybody has special talents. I mean, anybody can come participate.
In Wilmington, Hannah Brewer, Time Warner Cable News.